Uh, we'll be able to complete our sessions by latest by 10th or so, June, 10th or 11th.
Okay.
Just 1 or 2 days here and there. Just
Mhm.
let me check the last installation, what we have created. Basically, what we have done, we have created a new billing master data for single rate meter so that you can add scenarios like, how to add the additional line items. But at the moment, you are interested to see how the meter reading validation will happen. We are working with the device management also parallelly. Meter reading validation is one of the important functionality in device management. Now let me go to ES31, then find out our installation based on the division RA. So RIN009, our installation is RIN009. This installation we have maintained with a new building class JADA04. JADA04 is for smart meter spot pricing. We created with JADA04. Okay, not this one. This is smart meter RIN09 division RA. Maybe we didn't create, I think. Let's see. So our billing class, we'll go by billing class. We can find out. So go to IMG. Date also we created. I think we have completed the billing master data. Just have a look at it. So go to the contract billing master data. Define billing classes. So define billing class as basically ZR residential with 2 rate meter, residential with the single rate meter, ZR02. Ours is ZR02. So let us see whether we have created a rate with ZR02 as the rate. Go to rate, define the rates, change the rates, ZR02. We created ZR02 as off with 2 rate meter. Okay. Billing class 02021. Single rate register billing ZR021 is our rate, what we have created. So our new rate is ZR021. This is for single rate meter. Initially maintain minimum portion 100%. This has some control on the metering validation. If we vary how it will work, we will see. We have got the rate steps, all the data is maintained. Then our rate category has been maintained. Schema, go to schemas, change the schema, ZR021. This has got the rate as ZR021. Then we have got the rate category, change the rate category, ZR021. So this is for rate category. Then you have maintained a rate determination. Define the rate determination. Rate category, rate type, ZR02. So, if suppose in the register level, our rate type is ZR02, rate type for the single register, and then valid from 0101 2024, 31st 12, the rate category, rate will be determined. Okay, so up to this, we have done the billing master data. So, billing master data is ready. Okay, so rate and the rate category schema, rate schema all with the same only, same, that is schema, and then rate category. All are basically created as ZR0 to 1. Rate type is defined as ZR02. That also we have maintained the rate determination. Okay. Now, we need a device for installation. We need a new installation. Now, let me go and see what are the materials we have created from the MM. Go to MM60. Our plant is RR2. Phase 3 phase it will also forward single rate meter. So 302 is our material number. We have created, I think, 10 or 20 meters. So if we go to MM60 plant, 302 is the material. So our material is 302. Device category 302. For 302, we have got some meters created already. IQ09. Material is 302. So for 302, we have created some new devices. Nothing has been installed. That means so far it didn't create any installation. We have got 855 to 864 as the serial numbers. We'll try to use them as you go along. These are the serial numbers. Okay. Now, create one installation. Create a new premise. New installation. New installation will create backdated so that you can check some scenarios of metering validation. For metering validation, what are the parameters considered? We will see. So right now, what I will do, we are in the month of March, we are in the month of June. So up to July end, up to May end, we have done the metering suppose. That means May, April, March, February, January, and then last year, December, November. Okay. So November, if you do move in, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Okay, 7 months. I think you can check all the scenario. Basically, one for exceeding the validation, two for basically estimation, and just to see how the validations will happen in general, we can do the movement on the 1st of November. Now, this rate determination from which date we have maintained, we'll find out. That means it should be from 1st of January 2024. Okay. So if we go to the billing master data, define rate determination, we have maintained purposely from 1st of January 2024. Okay. Which my installation may be in 2024, but the rate will be determined. Okay. So now what I will do, go and find out the existing premise. We'll copy it and then create a new premise. Currently, our premise is 123. We'll copy, create a new premise. To technical master data premise create. So we'll copy from the existing premise and then save. So our premise is 125. Premise 125. Now I can create the basically installation available from 1st of January 2024, but moving will do on November or something. Okay. So what I will do, I'll go and create backdated installation to ES30. Key date I'll say 01/01/2024 and division is RA 01/01/2024 RA division. Premise I'll say 125 and our billing class is ZR02. Residential with the single rate meter. And for this, we have got the corresponding rate category ZR021. And our MR unit is ESL. ESL and then 7. So installation 125 has been created. Installation 125 has been created. Now go back to installation and change 125. Here we will enter some important data which is going to be required for metering validation. We'll say base period category previous period or period of the previous year. So we are selecting previous period. Okay. What is the purpose of this previous period? What is the relevancy for metering validation? We will see. Then MR control, I'll select here residential consumers. So what is the purpose of this? We will see and then save it. This is done. Now I'll go and do the device installation. Okay. For device installation full, I require the installation data and device installation. So I'll go to EG31. So our installation number created just now for division RA is 125 is the installation number. And activity date I'll take 01/01/2024 and we'll take one of the existing device 855. So device number is 855. Activity reason I will say installation. Now here we are entering initial metering at 0. Now we normally enter meter reading consumption data, estimated consumption data. This is basically based on our historical understanding of a single rate meter in the consumers. Wherever they are having single rate meter, on an average, what is the consumption data? Okay. This data will be helpful in future for our meter reading validation. Also, we have seen how it was helpful in the case of the budget billing. In the budget billing, we saw it was taking this data for basically calculating the estimated consumption quantity for next 1 year. Okay. But here you're going to use this data for metering validation. Let's say 600 kilowatt hour for 30 days. This is for every 30 days, our consumption data estimated is 600. This is a ballpoint figure. Now, actual consumption may vary, 620, 630, it doesn't matter. But on an average, we are saying 600 kilowatt hour for 30 days. And our rate type is available here. We will select. Our rate type is ZR02 and then save it. Device has been installed. It is ready for moving. Now, before that, we'll see whether we have maintained all the account determination, everything. Because account determination is actually required during the billing, can do it even later also. Now, our installation data is ready. Okay. So let's do the moving. We want the metering to happen from November onwards, 2024. Let's say I do moving on the 1st of November, 2024. Okay. Let me create one new contract account, CAA2, or contract account created for company code RRR. So we have got 2401. We'll use BP383, existing contract account category R1, 2401. So let me go to CAA1. R1 is the and account category 2401. Payment and taxes telling this is having no budget billing procedure. Now we will save it. So our account is 3201. Account number 3201 has been created. This is the new account number we have created. Okay. Then using this account and the installation, I'll do the moving on 1st of November. Okay. I will go to EC 50E. Moving date I'll take 01 11 November 2024. That account 1st of November 2024. We'll do the moving. And we'll take the installation number 125. Now, whenever you got a new building class, you have to maintain the moving parameters for the new building class. Then only you can do the moving. So go to utilities, customer service, process execution, and then go to moving mode, moving. Moving control parameters at the contract level. So we will see company code RRR. We have maintained for ZR01, ZR03, ZR04. Copy any one of them. We'll say our company code is RRR, division RA. ZR02 is the billing class. Then continue, then save. Whenever you create a new billing class, you have to maintain corresponding controls. So now I'll go to EC 50E. Installation number is 125. You have to maintain the ID for account determination. Let's say RX for the residential customers. And initial metering data I will maintain 0 and we will save. Moving created, contract has been created. Okay. Contract has been created. So if I go to ES31, our installation 125 has been created with the contract 166 valid from 01 level. Okay. So from the 1st of November onwards, this installation is available for metering and billing. Okay. Now, metering order you can create, enter results. Whenever you enter the results, the system will do the validation for the metering. Okay. Then on what basis the validation will happen, we want to check it. First of all, we have a device here. Our device has been created as 855 for the material 302. 302 is a created device category. For 302 device category, we have a register group 1028. Okay. In the register group 1028, we have maintained the validation class. Okay. What is this validation class? We'll see. Validation class is 0001. 0001 is a validation class for residential consumers. That means whenever you create any meter which is for residential consumers, our validation class is 0001. Now, for this validation class, we'll maintain the meter reading validation parameters. That means what rules will apply for the validation check. Validation means basically whenever you enter the result, it has to be validated whether this result is okay or not, whether it is acceptable or not. If it is acceptable within the tolerances or the checks, the metering result is saved and you can use the result for the billing purpose. But if the validation fails, you can save the results, but it will be blocked for the billing. It will be called basically not relevant for billing. That means it is basically to be checked and released. Then only it will go for the billing. So that activity also we want to see. For the 0001 validation class, what are the controls you have maintained? We want to check it. So for that, we'll go to configuration. So we'll go to device management. To utilities. And then go to device management, meter reading, and meter reading validations. Independent validation, dependent validation. Independent validation means it's a validation happening for each register in the meter. Okay. In our case, we have got a meter with single register. Single rate register means it has got only one register. Every month you will be taking metering result for one particular register. If it is a two-rate meter, it has got two registers. That means each of the register metering data will be validated separately. Suppose let us say we have got a meter with three registers: on peak, mid peak, off peak. Okay. So on peak data will be validated separately, off peak will be validated separately, mid peak will be validated separately. Which means to say independent means each register data will be validated individually, separately. That's the meaning. So how this will happen, we'll see. Independent validation. Define the validation class. Just now you saw 0001 was a validation class. We have defined. It is defined here actually. And you're using in the basically a register category in the meter. Allocate independent validations to validation classes. If 0001 is a validation class, what are the validations to be done? Independent validations have to be done. One or many validation parameters can be maintained. If you maintain, let's say three checks will happen. The result has to pass through all the three checks. If it passes through one of them, two are not happening, means our result is not okay. Or out of three validations, two have passed successfully, one is failing, then we say result is not validated. If we maintain three rules, all the three rules have to satisfy. The checks have to happen and all the three rules have to satisfy. That's the meaning. So what are the independent validations we are supposed to do? We'll select here. For 0001 validation class, we have maintained 3 checks. First is 01. 01 means zero consumption. Zero consumption means, let's say last month metering is X, this month metering is also X. That means our consumption is 0. Okay. If consumption is 0, then the result is not accepted. Metering is not accepted because it is leading to zero consumption. Okay. Now, zero consumption means it will raise a doubt whether meter is working or not. Why it is showing the same metering? Genuinely, customer may not be there or they may not have consumed. But one possibility is also there that the meter may not be working. Okay, so that is the reason we don't want to go ahead with the metering data. Then some activity has to be done with which you can make sure our meter is okay. Okay, 01 is for zero consumption. Then 06 is tolerance limit relative. You can maintain some limits in a tolerance manner, percentage manner. You can also maintain absolute, but usually relative is maintained. Relative tolerances can be maintained in percentages for the positive deviation, negative deviation. How this deviation is calculated, we'll find out. So we are maintaining 0.6, that is relative tolerance, and then go to 0.3, permissible number of estimations exceeded. Okay. So that means whenever you enter the result, it is going to check against all these 3 validation. Zero consumption should not happen. Relative tolerance should be within the limit, and permitted estimation should be within the expected estimations. All the 3 checks will happen. As far as the estimations are concerned, we have maintained the data here. Let's go and check. Before that, we'll go to define the tolerance limits for validation classes. Select here. We are maintaining validation class 0001. For that, we have maintained percentage in positive deviation, percentage in negative deviation, percentage in positive deviation, percentage negative deviation. Let's say 30% is for positive deviation, 20% for negative deviation. And then if the results are not validated, then how the system should respond? We're given E2 as the control. 2 means error. Okay. Suppose you entered some result, validation happened. One of the validation parameters has failed. Then it will be error. That means this result is not okay. It will become implausible metering result. Okay. That means you can save the result. It will not update the installation, consumption data in the installation. It will become implausible. Whenever the results are saved as implausible, we cannot do the billing unless you release it and make it ready for billing purpose. Okay, that is the meaning of the error. So error message will make sure that our results are to be valid through all the checks. If any check has failed, then it will become implausible. We cannot do the billing. Okay, that's the meaning. Now, what is this relative tolerance? We have to see how it will work. So I maintain percentage deviation 30% for the positive, 20% negative. Now, basically, you can say we are doing the metering data for November, or let's say December. Okay, December 31st is the metering date. Okay, then the consumption period is starting from the 1st of December. 1st of December. That means our consumption period is from 1st of December to 31st of December, which is basically 31 days. Okay, 31 days. Now, system has to know how much consumption quantity can be expected in 31 days. Okay, on what basis it will find out? Usually, we will find out based on the previous period consumption data. Suppose previous month is, let's say, 1st of November to 1st of November to 30th of November, because November is 30 days. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 31. 30 days, 30th of November. 30th of November. Last month, previous month period was 1st of November to 31st of November. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, on 30th of November, we have done the metering. and you noted on the metering data, metering value. Okay. Let's say metering was noted down as, let's say, 3000. This was the metering data, metering value on the test of number, that is 3000. Let's say for the total period, 30 days, consumption happened as, let's say, 620 kilowatt hour. Okay. Between 1st of November to 30th of November, it is 620 kilowatt hour. Actual consumption is 620 kilowatt hour has been consumed. Okay. Now, what it will do, it will calculate for each day what was the consumption in the previous month. Okay. 1st of November to 30th of November means 30 days of consumption, 620 for 30 days. Okay. So per day, how much will be? It will be 620 divided by 30 days. 620 divided by 30 days. The per day consumption will come to 21 point something in decimal. That means per day consumption is 21.667. Now, based on this value, it will estimate how much could be consumption for 31 days. Okay. So it will become 31 into 20.667. That means for the month of December, based on the previous month consumption data, which is for 30 days, per day consumption was calculated. And using this, it estimated what is the consumption quantity for the month of December. It comes to 640.667 kilowatt hour. Okay. Now, we cannot expect 100% same consumption quantity from the last month. Okay. It can vary. Average consumption 640, you can say, but it can go more also. So we say 30% is a positive deviation. Then we'll say 640.667 is the consumption. On that 30%, we can give the additional consumption. So this into 1.3, 1.3. It can go 20% less also. Okay. That means 80% of the estimated consumption. 80%, this is 833 point this thing. Then 80%, 20% less means 80% of the previous consumption. 80, we'll say 0.80 into 640.667. So 513 point, 512.5 can be expected consumption. Okay. So how much will be the expected metering? Okay. Last month metering was 620. Last month metering was 3000. So this month metering can be average. How much it will be? It will be average consumption plus 3000. This can be metering. But if suppose more than permissible, it cannot be exactly meet this one. Up to 30% you are saying. So it will be previous month metering 3000 plus 832.87. And here it will become basically 3000 plus 512.5. So it is 3513. So when you enter the metering result, it will say expected average metering data, expected metering data will be 3640.67. Maximum can be 3832.9. Minimum can be 3513. Suppose if you enter the metering result, if it is within 3832.9 and 3513, that result can be accepted. Okay. Suppose metering is coming to 3700, it is falling within the range. Okay. But if it is showing 3900 or let's say 4000, then that result is exceeding the positive deviation. Suppose it is showing the result as 3490, which means it is going below the minimum. Okay. So every time you enter the result, it will compare whether the value is less than the maximum, more than minimum. If it is so, then it will be accepted. Otherwise, it will not be. This is how the relative tolerance will happen. How it will check actually here, we will see actual scenario. But this is a way how the relative tolerances can be used. Okay. So here for relative tolerance, you have maintained 30% positive deviation, 20% negative deviation. So actually when you do the metering, we'll see how the validation will happen. So this is one. Now for the estimated meter readings, we will maintain the control data here. Go to basic settings, define control parameters for the metering data processing. Define metering control. We have maintained define control parameters. Define metering control. We have maintained metering control as 0001. That is for the residential consumer. Okay. We are saying permitted estimation 02. That means maximum estimation is possible 02. Or you are using the customer meter reading also. Okay. This is for the customer meter reading. CMR means customer meter reading. Sometimes you will tell the customer, you do the meter reading and then send us the result. Okay. But let's say estimations we are doing. Estimation is one of the way by which you can enter the metering result. Suppose say for example, we have to do the metering in the month of November, okay? But because of incrementing weather, it has been very much snowing and rain, and we are unable to send the metering person to the installation, okay? They cannot go to the installation and do the metering, okay? But unless you enter metering data, we cannot do the billing. Okay, in that case, what you can do, you can estimate. Okay, that means we will say based on the historical consumption data, an estimation can be done. Okay, we enter the estimated value for the month of November. Again, in December, we could not do the metering because of the shortage of manpower. Okay, that means we had limited manpower in December. We could not read all the meters. So some meters we could not do the metering. Okay. In that case, we are doing the estimation. So November, you have done the estimation and December also estimation. But if suppose January also, if you start doing the estimation, you'll give the error because maximum permissible estimations are 2. Okay. Estimation by and large should be used only on a occasional, not on a regular basis as an exceptional case. Okay. Because whenever you do estimation, what will happen? We are not measured actually consumption. So it is based on the estimation. Okay. If you continuously do estimation for 6 months, 7th month you do the mid reading, then the actual difference may show out. Okay. That means suddenly it may show high value, low value. Then the customer will also start suspecting whether the result is okay or not. Okay. So normally the rule is whenever you do the estimation, you must always tell the consumer on the invoice this metering result is estimated value, not the actual. Okay. So in that case, what will happen? Customer also knows this is not the actual metering; it is estimated. Okay. So that they will be prepared in future to get the actual difference whenever it happens. Okay. So estimations by and large should not be used as a regular practice, but on an occasional basis, whenever we have some valid reason, we can still go for the estimation. But you are saying we cannot go on doing as a more than twice. In I mean, you can do any number of estimation, but continuously in sequence you should not do more than twice. November you are done, December you are done. So January if you do, it is breaking the rule. Okay, maximum permissible estimation is 2. So this is a check what you have maintained. With this, let's see how the metering validation will happen. Okay. Now we have got our basically meter installed, and then we do the metering order for the installation. Our installation is 125. Now you can see our metering period is starting from 1st of November. In November, 30th of November, I think you have to do the metering. For 125 installation, we will do the metering order. So go to EL01. Metering order. It got lost. We'll once again log in. So let me go to EL01 installation 125. Our reason for metering is, let's say, periodic consumption metering, and then execute. It will check what is the metering unit in the installation. It is SL, okay? According to SL, what is the metering date in the month of November, okay? So if you go to 2024, 30th of November 2024, execute, and then create the order. If you create the order, then only you can enter the result, okay? So metering order created for 30th of 11 as the date. Now you have to enter the result. Go to EL28. Now I'm going to enter the metering data for 125, the period 30th of 11. Now, if suppose you are going to do metering data and metering result for the November, it has to calculate what is the consumption quantity for November, okay? Let's say, for example, tentatively I enter 615 as the metering quantity. This is the quantity. Now this has to be validated. It has validated. You can see R. It says billable. Billable means metering data has been entered. It has been validated. It is billable. Okay. But how the validation has happened, we want to find out. So go to validation. Here it says forecast period is 01/11 to 30/11. That means you have to forecast how much consumption quantity will be there for the metering period, 1st of November to 30th of November. Original period is 1st of November to 30th of November. Here what has happened, we have done the moving on 1st of November. Before that, we had no consumption data. That means very first time only you have done the moving in the installation on 1st of November. Previously, this installation was not occupied. There was no consumption. In that case, on what basis you do the estimation of the quantity? You need some base, okay? Whenever you have such situation, what it will do, it will check the installation data of the device. There you will find out what is the estimated quantity you are given for, let's say 30 days or something. Just now while doing the device installation, we said we have got 600 kilowatt hour for 30 days. So what it will do, it will calculate per day how much is the consumption. That means 600 is the quantity by 30 days. It comes to 20 kilowatt hour per day. Now, if this is what is the consumption per day, how much consumption expected in the month of November? Incidentally, November is also 30 days only, 1st of November to 30th of November. So how much is the quantity expected average? 20 into 30 days. It is 600. Now, this is the average consumption. Our starting metering value is 0 because when you install the device, it was 0 on 1st of November. So what is the metering data? On 1st of January, we have entered 0. After that, no movement has happened. There was no consumption. Okay. So on 1st of November also, metering data will be 0 only. Okay. But what will be the data on 30th of 11? So for that, what we are doing, it is estimating quantity as 600 kilowatt hour. Okay. Now, it can be average 600, but you're allowing 30% of the positive deviation. So now we will say 600 into 1.30. This is the maximum consumption. Minimum consumption means 80% of the data. So we'll say 600 into 0.8. 0.8. It will be 480. Our actual metering was 0 on the 1st of November. So what will be the consumption data for 30th of 11. Okay, so it can be 600. 0 was the metering data on the 1st of November. So average metering will be 600. Metering value is also 600 only. Because our starting metering data was 60. So it can be 600 for average consumption metering data, or maximum it can be 780. It can be minimum 480. That means our results what we enter should be between 600 to 480. I mean, basically 480 to 780, average is 600. We have entered the data as basically 650. So it is falling between 480 to 780. So here you can see it is showing our maximum reading possible is 780, minimum is 480. Expected reading is 600. Now we are saying, basically we are going ahead with this data. Let's say we make it as 620. We make it as 620. Now we will save it. So now we'll go and see the installation data ES31. So installation data has been updated as MR result as 620. That means from the 1st of November to 30th of November, our consumption quantity value is 620. This 620 is for 30 days. So what is the actual consumption data per day? 1st of November to 31st of November means 30 days. So 620 divided by 30 days. It comes to 20.67. Okay. Now we are doing the metering from the 1st of, because November is only 30 days. So our metering period will start from 1st of November up to, let's say, 30th of December. What is the metering date in December? We'll find out. Go to scheduling, schedule record, display, unit, ESL. In the month of December, December, you can see 31st of December. Okay. That means we are supposed to take the metering on 31st of December. That means from 1st of December to 31st of December, for 31 days you have to estimate the data. Okay. Now, that means how much data should be there historically so that you can calculate the quantity for 31 days. Okay. That is decided by the percentage what to maintain in the rate. Okay. In the rate you have maintained basically 100%. Okay. That means if you want 31 days of consumption to be estimated, previous period also data should be available for 31 days. But in our case, 31 days consumption is not there, okay? Because we are having data for November, which is only 30 days, okay? So if you go to our rate, if you go to the rate, our rate has been created, billing. And if you go to master data, then go to define the rate. Change the rate. Our rate is ZR0 to 1. Here maintain 100%. 100% means suppose you are going to estimate the consumption data for December, that is 1st of December to 31st of December. That means 100% data should be available from the previous period, okay? Then only you can estimate, otherwise you cannot estimate. That means 31 days consumption should be there historically. If it is not there, then it has to look not only November, also in October, okay? Because October may be 30 days, November is 30 days, 60 days. Then per day you calculate, then you estimate for 31 days, okay? But in our case, we have got only November as the consumption value. So naturally what will happen, it will take again the installation data as a basis, okay? Because it doesn't have the enough data. If suppose, if it is 100%, then data is not there. So what it will do, simply it will take the installation data and then do it. But suppose if you say our minimum portion is 50% only, that means even if 50% of the present data is there in the historical data, That means our requirement is 31 days, but November we got 30 days. That means if you say 50% means even if 15 days consumption data is there, it can meet our requirement. Okay. So that's how actually the value will happen. So let's keep initially 100% and see how value will be calculated. Then if you take 50%, what will happen? We will see. So we will go to create metering order for EL01 for December. So scheduled metering date will take 31st of December 2024. Now metering order created. Our present installation data, how much is the metering data? 125. Yes, 30. Our metering result was 620. 620. Last month on November 30th, it was 620. Okay. Let's say if I enter just ad hoc metering 600 consumption, 1220, I enter the metering data. Then how validation will happen, we will see. So go to EL28. 25. Already 620 previous month. Let me add another 600. So it will become 1220. Now let's go to validation and see. It says maximum reading is 1426. Minimum reading is 116. Average reading, expected reading is 1240. Okay. We have entered 1220. 1240 is expected. How this 1240 has been calculated? We want to find out. And then how minimum and maximum have been calculated. So for that, you can see the value, how it is calculated. Now, as per our requirement, 100% consumption data should be there for corresponding period historically. Okay. That means currently we are estimating for 31 days. Historical period should also be in 31 days. Then only you can take the data. If it is not there, then go beyond that last month, maybe last 2 months. But in our case, last 2 months not possible. Why? Because our consumption data is only for November. Okay. Then what it will do, it will ignore the actual metering data, go to installation level. Installation level, we have said 20 kilowatt hour per day. We maintain 600 kilowatt hour for 30 days, 20 kilowatt hour, 20 into 31 days estimation. So 31 into 20. It comes to 620. We take 30% of that, put this into 1.30, and then we'll take 80% of gas, 0.8 for the minimum, 496. So previous month metering was 620. Okay, we'll say 620 plus 806. And then we are saying 620 plus 806, and then 496 plus 620. So our metering can be 620, 6 we have entered. Our metering can be 30 days 620, previous or 620. So 620 plus 620 means it will be metering can be 1240 average, maximum 1426, minimum 1116. Okay. So let's see how it is showing. It's saying 1426 can be maximum. That's what you got. Minimum can be 1116. Average 1240. Average 1240. Okay. So that means because it did not have the metering data of the 31 days last month, only 30 days, it has gone to installation level data and then seen it. Okay. Based on that, it has done. But suppose if you say minimum portion should be 50%, then what it will do? It will not check the installation level data. Actual period data is already available 620 consumption, okay, last month. That divided by 30. Based on that, it can estimate, okay. So now what I will do, I will not save this data. We will redo the metering consumption data with the change in the minimum portion, okay. So I'll not save this data. We are seeing how it is working right now. I'll not save it, come out. Go back to the rate, what we have got. Change the rate. So here I will say minimum portion should be 30% or something. That means if you're estimating 31 days of consumption data, at least 30% of 31 days, approximately 10 days consumption data should be there in the previous month. Whereas you got 30 days. So that data will be taken as a basis. Okay. So I maintained here 30% and then save it. Now we will try to enter the MR result, how it will do the calculation. Go to EL28, enter 620, 620, 600. I'll say 1220 is the missing data. Now let's go to validation. So here you see maximum reading had changed, minimum reading had changed, expected reading 1260.67. So how it is calculating this value, we want to see. So we will see the validation. So previous month our consumption was 620. 620 entered on November 30th. So November 1st was 0. So actual consumption is 620 kilowatt hour divided by 30 days. 620 divided by 30 days. Our per day consumption comes to 20.7, 20.67. So for 31 days, what will be the consumption? 31 into 20.67. Of this, we'll take, let's say, 30% more. So we'll say 1.30 into this value. It comes to 833.27. Then 80% of that, that is 0.80 into 640.7 is the consumption. It comes to 513. Now, previous month meter reading was 620. So we'll say this month meter reading can be 620 plus this, that is 1260.67. Maximum can be 620 previous month meter reading value plus this value. Then 620 plus 513. It comes to 1133 on this. So if you see the validation, how it will show, if we go to, it says maximum can be 1452.87. 1452.87 means it is rounding to 9, otherwise it's coming to 14.52.87. This is the data. Okay. This is coming to 1132.533. So it is coming to 1132.53. Max expected reading 1260.67. That means it has changed the validation because we have said minimum portion should be 30 days. It is not taking the installation level data. Actual consumption, what has happened in the November, it is meeting our portion requirement because previous month meter reading happened for 30 days, okay, which is more than adequate. We require only 30% of the present period. Present period is 31 days. 30% means approximately 10 days, 11 days, okay, whereas you got 30 days data. So it has taken the actual consumption, what has happened in the November. Based on that, it estimated data for the 31 days and then average consumption meter reading shown 1260.67. Then apply the positive deviation and the negative deviation. So this is how the validation is happening. Now we have checked for one validation. Now we will see how it will behave when it exceeds the maximum reading and also permissible estimations if exceed, how it will behave. Okay. So that we'll see tomorrow. Is it okay?
Okay, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.